Hello and welcome to the Cathedral Bell Tower tour. You'll have noticed that we have in fact two towers here at Llandaff Cathedral. We have the Pritchard Tower here, which has a spire on it and contains only one bell. And on this side we have the Jasper Tower, which contains our ring of 12 bells. So welcome to the ringing room. We've come up the staircase and we're now in the Jasper Tower, where we have a ring of 12 bells. These bells date from 1992, when we had a complete ring of 12 cast and installed by the Whitechapel foundry in London. The bells range from the smallest bell here, which is also the highest note, and the lightest in weight. And the bells range then go up in size around the circle, all the way around here, to the heaviest bell, which is this one, which is also the largest and the deepest in note. In all rings of bells, the lightest bell is always called the treble, and the heaviest is always called the tenor. In addition here, each of our bells has a name, and when the bells were cast, the name was cast into the metal. And here all our bells are named after Welsh saints, but not only that, they are the saints of churches within the diocese which have rings of bells. So, for example, again, the treble, the lightest bell, is called St. Bridget, as in St. Bride's Major. Our heaviest bell, the tenor, is called St. Tylo, which is one of the main saints to which this cathedral is dedicated. On the wall, you'll notice a lot of plaques which commemorate special events in ringing here, and also, most notably, on the wall here, we have a war memorial which lists the bell ringers in this diocese who fell in the First World War, and then one additional name for a ringer who died in the Second World War. So this is the diocesan memorial to bell ringers who died. And normally when we ring, we would like to ring at least 8 of these bells, if not all 12, but in every case we would need one person for each bell. But there are occasions when we can use a different system. We can use this apparatus here with the ropes, which are attached to 10 of the bells. This is an apparatus called an eloquum chime. And it means that one person can chime the bells. And this you'll perhaps be familiar with for the chiming which goes before the 9 o'clock service on a Sunday morning, and is also what we normally use to ring for weddings. We've come up some more stairs now, and we're above the ringing room, and you can see the bell ropes going through from the floor below me, through the ceiling above, and to the bell chamber, which is above us yet again. But behind me, you can see the clock mechanism. Many of you will be familiar with the fact that the clock and the bells here chime every quarter hour and on the hour, in what we're accustomed to call the Westminster chimes. The clock mechanism is now fully automated, although back in the past somebody would have had to come up and wind it possibly once a week using a great hand crank, and that would have been a lot of hard work. So we're glad that it's now completely automated and run by electricity. But unusually, and again some people may have spotted this, there are actually no clock faces on the outside of this tower. So the only time indication that we get outside is the sound of the clock chimes on the quarter hour. And if we listen carefully now, we're just in time to hear the chimes go for 11 o'clock. So we've climbed yet more stairs, and now we are here in the bell chamber. And in fact, our bells are hung on 2 levels. So here we're on the upper level, where there are 4 bells, and below me are the rest. But this is where we get the really good view. The bells are hung in a big metal frame. Each bell is suspended from what we call a headstock. The headstock is attached to a wheel, and the wheel has the rope attached to that. So the ropes run round the edge of the wheel, down through the floors and to the ringing room. So that when we pull on that rope, it makes the wheel move a little and the bells start to swing. And you can see again, I told you about the bells being dedicated to saints, and this one is dedicated to St. Dewi. See its name written here. And on the headstocks, the name of the foundry, Whitechapel. Normally when we ring, the bells are set facing upside down with their mouths uppermost. And so that when they move in almost a full circle, from upright here, all the way round to upright the other side. And they strike once at the top, and then once again at the top the other side. And that way we get a really full sound, which will go out through the windows here, which at the moment are covered by some panelling, and the sound will carry a long way. But when the clock chimes are running, they don't work in quite the same way, and they don't make quite as big a sound. Reached the top of the tower now, top of the Jasper Tower, from which there are splendid views looking up the Taff Valley towards Cathedral, and then back down the Taff Valley towards the city centre. Normally we can see the castle, and we can also see the rugby stadium in the city. And then to the one side we can see our partner tower, the Pritchard Tower with the spire, and on top of it the weather vane with the cockerel. I hope you've enjoyed our tour of the tower, and that you'll be able to come in real life in future.